Well, a beautiful afternoon for baseball here in Oakland, California. Astro fans that have made their way west, they have enjoyed what they have seen so far through the first 3 games of this 4-game series as the Houston Astros taking care of business in back-to-back games. Maybe some Texans making their way out here and showing these Northern Californians how you tailgate. A little brisket work going there from that Astro fan, but Houston has come up all smiles so far in this series as Josh Reddick back in the lineup today, the former Oakland Athletic. Houston going for a 4-game sweep. Alongside Jeff Blum, I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. It is good to welcome you to Astros baseball. To give you an idea how long it has been, Blummer, on the road that the Astros have swept a 4-game series, I think Eric Bedard was the winning pitcher the last time the Astros had a 4-game sweep. It has been a while. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, that might be the only time we look back to some of those seasons to see some of those 4-game sweeps. It'd be nice to see him do it here.
All right, our time to play is time to play some defense. We've talked about the offense. We've talked about the pitching. We've talked about everything as far as this team is concerned, but how about the defense in this series?
Yeah, obviously that offense is prolific at putting up runs, but how about keeping runs off the board and backing up some of these pitchers? We talked about how the pitching has been relatively decent with 4 of the 5 starters on that DL, and the reason for that is because they've got a great defense behind them. George Springer keeping a base runner off the board with that strong relay throw home. The infield up the middle has done a fantastic job turning double plays and keeping guys off. So the range and the runs coming for the Houston Astros has been a lot of fun to watch.
And what's amazing when you watch all that video and all those good defensive plays, that's not over the course of a season. That's just during this 3-game series. HOU AT OAK, he'll sit this one out in this afternoon affair, but Carlos Correa swinging a hot bat. He's in there for the Astros. They go for the 4-game sweep, and their 10th straight win in Oakland next on Root Sports.
Looking for a 4-game sweep with a win today. They've been playing complete baseball on this road trip, and one guy specifically who's been playing good baseball is Carlos Correa in the 3-hole today with HOU AT OAK out, but had a great night last night all around. Defensively, we know he's got great defense. He's our Shiner Light Blonde Spotlight. But he was helping out Mike Fiers last night in the middle of a couple of big double plays for him. Also offensively got things going against Sean Manaea along with Jose Altuve, but good base running right there to get into scoring position. He would eventually score with Evan Gattis driving him in, but also coming up huge with the tack-on run in the 9th inning, getting that solo homer to end his day on a very high note, of course helping this Astros club win. But an all-around great game for Carlos Correa, who can really do it all, but he's played well since early May, guys, and he looks to continue to do that today against Jesse Hunt. Kevin?
Very much, and yeah, you can really tell though he gets in those RBI situations in this series and all season long. Really locks in. Our Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Astros today. The center fielder George Springer will be leading it off, followed by Josh Reddick in right. Carlos Correa, the shortstop. Carlos Beltran is the designated hitter. He'll bat cleanup. Evan Gattis is behind the plate batting 5th. Marwin gets the start at second base as Jose Altuve gets the day off. Yuli Gurriel is the first baseman batting 7th, followed by Alex Bregman, who's put together a very nice series. He's at 3rd. And Nori Aoki gets the start in left field for the Astros. Going to work today looking for their 50th win of the season, and that is a lineup that will face young right-hander Jesse Hahn, who makes his 12th start, the 27-year-old towing the rubber today for the Oakland Athletics.
4 career starts against those Houston Astros. They've hit him pretty well to a 6.05 ERA. He has those 3 losses. He's actually pitching pretty well here at home this season. He is 3-1 with a 4.37, which kind of tells you that he's getting some good run support. He is out of Norwich, Connecticut. Fastball, curveball, changeup last year. This year he has added the slider. Be a little bit more effective against right-handed hitters. He has only allowed 1 home run this season, and that is in 65 2/3 innings.
He faces George Springer. Springer will be leading it off. Springer, a 277 hitter with 21 home runs, 46 runs batted in, 3 for 15. As you see in this series, he's had a couple of home runs. 2 days ago, one to lead off the game as he leads it off here, and we are underway in Oakland. That one fouled off down the left side. Game number 74 of the season. On a warm afternoon here in Northern California. Astros winning the first 3 of this 4-game series, and making it look pretty easy doing it, scoring early and late. That's outside a ball, 1-1. Astros a 4-1 winner on Monday night, doubled up the A's on Tuesday 8-4, and then 5-1 last night. Able to hold up. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Big breaking ball. You'll see that average around 76 miles an hour. He also has that changeup at 85, but the fastball will maintain itself around 94 miles an hour.
The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike, missed high.
Good time for another leadoff bomb.
Good count for it, that's for sure. Jesse Hahn in his 5th major league season. The 3-1 pitch. Oh, it hit him. That one came up and in, and let's see where it got him.
Hopefully got that left tricep where the pad is. But at 12:37, that's not something you want to see in your first AB. George, big, strong kid. You know, you can sit there and say no big deal, he hit the leadoff guy, but if you look at the numbers, George Springer is team leader amongst the team leaders in home runs, RBIs, so he is a major force in this lineup for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, it was on a 3-1 pitch.
May have gotten a hand.
Yeah, that
is not good.
Squeezing that hand, we'll see. Give him a little time to collect himself. Not the way the Astros wanted to get this thing started.
Yeah, not at all. Good look at it on our Mattress Firm Supermo, up and in. George doesn't really, it looked like it got that shoulder first and then hit the hand. So hopefully just a glancing blow, nothing too major.
And then it bounced off.
Definitely got off those knuckles.
Hoping that that right shoulder was able to take enough of the steam out of it by the time it hit his hand. But they are certainly paying very close attention to George Springer's hand right now.
I'm not sure if he's trying to talk him into staying in the game or if they're trying to figure out if it's worse than they think it is.
Springer's going to come out of the game. So Marisnick more than likely will be the man that comes in. He's going to head for the clubhouse. I'm guessing heading for the clubhouse in an x-ray machine, and Jake Marisnick will come out and take first base. So just like that, Jake Marisnick becomes your leadoff man, and he is at first base. That'll bring up Josh Reddick. As soon as we hear anything, we'll let you know. Well, here's Reddick, a .285 hitter, the former Oakland Athletic. So Marisnick leads away from first base. That one's outside, a ball, 1-0. Josh came off the 7-day concussion disabled list for this series, and on Tuesday night had a couple of hits. Didn't play last night against the left-hander. 2 balls, no strikes. Not a cloud in the sky here in Oakland, California. The 2-0 from Jesse Hahn. 3 balls and no strikes.
Jesse Hahn proven early the command is an issue. He fell behind 3-1 to George Springer before hitting him, and now he's fallen behind 3-0.
A 500 pitcher at 18-18. This is 49th career start. Walked him on 4 pitches, so he hit Springer, then he walks Reddick on 4 pitches. You know it as well as I do. Sometimes when a guy comes up and in like that and hits a guy, it can shake him up a little bit. So Jesse Hahn will try to collect himself. Better do it in a hurry because Carlos Correa is stepping into the box.
And then Carlos Beltran, and then Evan Gaddis.
And then. Well, the Astros have 49 wins here in mid-June. Astros 49-24. The A's 31-41. This is 2 opposite ends of the spectrum in the American League. With 2 on and nobody out, Carlos Correa. Strike 1.
Jesse Hahn getting back in the zone on that outside edge, as you can see on our MD Anderson strike zone.
Well, the Astros put a 5 spot on the board in the first inning on Tuesday. So they've done it. Basically, they've scored in each of the 9th innings. They've scored early, they've scored late, they've beaten the A's in a lot of different ways. They go for their 10th straight win for A.J. Hinch's ball club here in Oakland.
Last time the Astros played the Oakland A's back home and faced Jesse Hahn, Carlos Correa had an RBI double in the first inning. I'd like to see a repeat performance of that.
And the Astros won that game 7-2. Marwin had a 3-run home run in that game. It wasn't off of Jesse Hahn, it was late, it was in the 8th inning.
It was the beginning of that torrid streak by Marwin Gonzalez.
Hit that one off of Frankie Montas, who's in the minor leagues now. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. That was on April 30th. He went 6 innings, 3 earned on 8 hits. Correa wants a little pine tar. And Maxwell wants a conversation with his pitcher. A's made some roster moves today. And one that's not exactly very popular, I wouldn't think, with the fans. Stephen Vogt, a very popular player here in Oakland, was designated for assignment earlier today.
No, I did a pregame interview on a local radio station here, and the host explained to me that letting go of Stephen Vogt is a huge blow to this fan base. He was a crowd favorite here in Oakland.
Yeah, not a big, we talked about this, not a big fan base, but a very dedicated and loyal fan base. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-2, make it 3-1. Hahn having all kinds of problems.
Been wild out of the zone. It'd be nice to see him get wild right in the center part of the plate and let Carlos Correa rip it.
Hitters count here with nobody out and 2 men on. We're in the first inning, just underway. Astros and Oakland Athletics. Walked him and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
You know, you talked about the psyche of the pitcher sometimes being messed up by hitting that first hitter of the game. How about 3-1 count to another superstar in Carlos Correa, and overcompensating, missing down in the dirt away. Might give you an idea, and that might be why their pitching coach Scott Emerson is out there. They've had a shakeup on their coaching staff also. A lot of transition going on here.
Fired their pitching coach end of last week, and then moved the bullpen coach to the pitching coach position. Had to make another move, so it's been a revolving door as far as that coaching staff is concerned. This is what happened to lead this game off. 3-1 pitch, and George Springer off the left shoulder, but it hit his hand as well. He could not continue, went to the Astros clubhouse.
Tell you what, the sound doesn't make it any better.
No, it does not.
Man.
So Carlos Beltran. That's ball 1.
I think you hinted at it, maybe the first game of the series, but the Astro fans have seen hand injuries go wrong for the Houston Astros of the past, namely Jeff Bagwell. What was it, 1994? Yeah. He was having an unbelievable year, but we've seen some of these hitters move to that face guard.
That ball hit high to center field. This should get the job done. Marisnick tagging at third. He will score a sacrifice fly. Reddick moves to third base, and the Astros lead it 1-0 with 1 out in the first. So Carlos Beltran getting the RBI, his 32nd of the season, and the Astros take the early lead.
The easy RBI with that runner at third base, less than 2. Good job by the veteran, just hitting a deep enough fly ball not only to score the run, but to get Josh Reddick into scoring position again with less than 2 outs. But what I was talking about is that face guard. We've seen Marwin Gonzalez, Carlos Correa, kind of a preemptive strike, I guess, because neither of those guys have been hit in the face. But why wouldn't guys think about putting that hand pad on the back of their hand like Jeff Bagwell did for so long? And you hinted at it, I believe, on Monday, talking about that.
Jeff worked for a long time, too. So here's Evan Gattis. Gattis, a 268 hitter. 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in for Evan. Realize we've had 4 plate appearances and you've yet to record it an at bat. Hit by pitch, walk, sacrifice fly. The Astros lead 1-0 with runners at the corners. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Jesse Hahn has been behind in the count, seems like, all day long. Granted, it's only the day is not very, very old. The
day's not very old, and he's not going to be out here very long if he keeps this up.
Not. Look at that.
You look at it.
19 pitches, just 3 strikes. Congratulations. That didn't take long either. Here's the 3-0. That went hit to right field. Matt Olson makes the catch, throw to the plate. The second sacrifice fly of the inning is Josh Reddick beats the throw, and it's 2-0 Houston.
So if you're looking at the box score right now, it's a little interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Astros 0 for 0, but have a 2-0 lead.
3-0. Gaddis not trying to do too much, just elevate to the outfield to drive in that run.
And a guy that knows the situation. Came in, had a huge 2-out single. And they pulled the infield in, shortened up as Evan Gaddis can do, and just able to muscle a ball over the pulled in infield for a 2-run single. Now comes up with a sacrifice fly, and there's 2 outs. 1-0. Marwin last 2 days had the day off. And look at those numbers. .310 with 12 homers and 37 runs batted in. Played on Monday night, went 1 for 4. (2-0). Marwin with the start at second base today. Jose Altuve, you know that's got to be hard for A.J. Hinch to do, is to take a guy, the best road hitter in baseball, out on a day like today.
Rest him at home.
Well,
don't rest him here.
Also in a stadium where he hits about 4,000 too.
Literally.
Fouled back, and Marwin lost the bat.
Well, that's an option for Major League Baseball. Instead of putting up nets to protect fans, you can just go ahead and create Oakland Coliseum foul territory, and you can't make it to the stands with your bat.
Well, we've seen a couple of nice tosses, and they have not made the stands, that's for sure.
You saw Carlos Correa earlier in this game go to the Pine Tar. Hot day. Some moist hands.
Marwin at a 2-1 count. Astros on top with 2 sacrifice flies. 3 balls and 1 strike. It is a scary ratio right now for that man. 24 pitches, just 5 strikes. Astros had a 5-run first on Tuesday night. 2-run first today. Marwin's going to take a moment. Marwin hits that one high to right field. Matt Olson going back, drifting back to the track, and makes the catch. But the Astros score a couple and a couple of sacrifice flies, and after a half inning lead 2-0. To low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Kevin Eschenfelder, Jeff Blum with you upstairs. Julian Morales down on the field. Todd Callis with the week off. He's taking the road trip off. He'll be back with the Astros when they return on Tuesday against these very same Oakland Athletics, as Matt Joyce will be leading it off, followed by Matt Olson and Ryan Healy. Chris Davis, Yonder Alonso and Chad Pinder that middle third. Jacob Brugman gets the start in center field. He bats 7th. Bruce Maxwell up from AAA. He is batting 9th, and Adam Rosales will bat 9th today for the Oakland Athletics. The A's, a team coming in here 10 games under 500, will face David Paulino.
Making his 5th start. See that 5.03 ERA, trying to work that down, but 20 strikeouts to those 5 walks is kind of nice. Fastball, he will go to that slider in 2 strike counts. He'll mix in the curveball and the changeup every once in a while. He's had 42 strike counts. Only 6 of them have reached this season.
It's in there for a strike, 0-1. Well, Joyce, 227 the average. Had his 7-game hitting streak come to an end yesterday. Misses high, a ball. One for 8 in the series with that double. Sat out Tuesday's game with back spasms. There's almost got him. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. David Paulino's 6th career start. Like you said, 5th start of this season. Last time out, 6 innings. That was Saturday night in a 7-1 win over the Red Sox. Only game the Astros won in that series. Strike 2.
Good changeup. Drifting that one in there at 79 miles an hour.
Astros scored 2 in the top of the 1st inning on a couple of sacrifice flies. It's a breaking ball.
Is your offense good when you're getting no hit and you still score 2 runs?
Your offense is efficient, opportunistic. I think opportunistic would be the best one.
Absolutely.
The 2-2. Strike 3 call. David Paulino. That was filthy.
Paulino's 6'7", and it looks like he's pitching on a mound that is way above regulation. So that downward tilt on that breaking ball was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks like 1967.
Yeah.
Out there.
He's a big man on that mound, but that is a breaking ball basically head to toe. Nicely done.
Well, you talked about up on that mound like that. He's got the highest release point in baseball.
And then you put him on a bump like this.
Here is Matt Olson, who has just been recalled from AAA Nashville. He had been up earlier in the season. 0 for 9. See the numbers he put together at AAA. He's 0 for 9 in the big leagues this year. A's 1st round pick in 2012. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, it's 6 foot, nearly 6'10" is the release point. It's ahead of Jordan Montgomery and Tyson Ross. So a couple of big guys. It gives you an idea. He's J.R. Richard, as big as David Paulino is. J.R. Richard was even bigger.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
J.R. was 6'8". That ball, base hit to right field. As Matt Olson gets his 1st hit of 2017 in the big leagues.
Got it on that breaking ball from David Paulino.
Now, Paulino's listed at 6'7". JR's 6'8". Here's Ryan Healy, third baseman, hitting .278. 1 for 9 in this series with those 17 home runs, 43 driven in. Strike 1.
See the large frame of David Paulino, and you read some of the minor league scouting reports that he can get to the mid-90s, but we've really seen him pitch around 92, 93 since he's been with the Houston Astros. But I think what makes it tough for hitters against him is that angle that he works from going downhill.
See Gaddis setting up with that, wanting it down, and ball was up a little bit. Mike Everett calling the balls and strikes today. Bill Welke is at first base. Jordan Baker, the second base umpire, and Bruce Streckman is your third base umpire today. Dominican-born David Paulino. 3 Dominican pitchers on this pitching staff. Michael Feliz, Francis Martez, who got a win in this series.
Astros have done a very good job of going around the globe to pick up talent. A couple academies.
Look out. That will get your attention. 90.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's somebody you can go after on this Oakland A's lineup as far as maybe retribution for hitting George Springer. So you just throw at the spot in the order, and Ryan Healy's in that 3-hole. But I'm not expressing any intent there from David Paulino.
I understand. The 1-2. Got him swinging. That big curveball again. Dropped it in the zone, and what you call swing and miss stuff in the zone.
Set him up nicely. You throw one up around his neck, and then you throw the breaking ball at him and have it snap back over the plate.
The curveball was slow enough to where you could see Healy with two reactions. One was to buckle, and the other one was to 9-1-1 Hackett.
Exactly. Protection mode.
Here's Chris Davis. 241, 18 homers, 46 runs batted in. Had a double a couple of days ago in this series. 3 for 11 in the series. Strike one. Been saying that a lot here in this first inning. David Paulino was 18 years old when he came over to the Houston Astros from the Detroit Tigers. Now the 23-year-old making his 6th career start here in the first inning with a 2-0 lead. Runner at first base and 2 outs. That one hit high in the air. Bregman gave it a look. That makes the seats. Would have made the club level at a lot of stadiums.
They've actually built in a couple of rows of seats over there next to that dugout down the left field line too. If those seats aren't there, he actually might have a play on that.
The 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Astros looking for a 4-game sweep of the Oakland Athletics. This after a 3-6 homestand. Today the 4th game of this 7-game road trip. Astros are in Seattle tomorrow to start a 3-game series. Houston right now 49-24. They have a 12.5 game lead in the division. Seattle 12.5 games back. Angels in Texas 13 games back. Both the Angels and the Rangers lost yesterday. Mariners were a winner yesterday. Mariners were looking down the barrel of a perfect game of Justin Verlander in the 5th inning. Dyson with a bunt single to break up the perfect game, and then the wheels spun off for Verlander after that. Mariners came from behind. They were down 4-0 in that game. They won that game 7-5.
It's amazing how quickly a baseball game can turn on you. Simple bunt.
Take a perfect game into an inning and you don't finish the inning.
Not just any pitcher either.
Yeah,
Justin
Justin
Verlander.
Verlander too. Yeah, exactly. Swing and a miss. High heat got him. 2-0 after 1.
Bregman due up second this inning, who's feeling a lot better at the plate. He said, I'm not chasing as much. He said, you know, I'm seeing more sliders than anyone else in the league, and I'm making that adjustment. I'm being able to hit it or not chase it when that's needed too. And he's actually right, guys. We dove into it a little bit deeper to see how many sliders he's seen. 25% sliders are the pitches being thrown to Alex Bregman. He's 5th in the league as far as seeing that particular pitch. So for him, just being able to either lay off of it or get to it, giving him the confidence he needs at the plate right now.
Well, and he'll bat here after Yuli Gurriel leads off the second inning with a single. You have shade down there? You're not out in the sun, are you?
There's a little shade.
Good. Just
where the possums live.
Just wondering. Next to the possum trap.
People think I'm joking, but there was a possum that lived down in here, so it's a true story.
I got your back on that. That's real.
I agree with you.
Possum family, I think.
I believe you just because I don't think you would have made that up.
No, I'm good. Sunscreen too. Always helps.
All right. Alex Bregman, 256. 5 for 9 in this series. His first multi-double game. How about that number of sliders he sees? Quite a bit of respect for a young hitter in Alex Bregman.
When you come up and you prove you can hit one pitch, they're going to move on to the next one and see how you do with it. And the slider they feel is a good pitch against Alex Bregman. So what does he have to do to change their mind? He has to start getting hits on it.
Bregman hits that one high in the air to center field. Jacob Bruckman underneath that one. Makes a catch, and there's one out here in the second as Yuli Gurriel will retreat back to first base. He led off the inning with a single. Here's George Springer leading off this game. Right off the Astros logo, but it also got him on the hand.
Yeah, we haven't heard word on or any updates on what is going on with George Springer. That's 1994.
That's it. The MVP season. The broken hamate bone.
I'm not sure Baggy could actually feel that. He taped his wrists so tight.
Nori Aoki bats with one out. Strike one.
Between the strike and Jeff Bagwell getting hit by that pitch, really disappointing. Montreal was leading the East, and Jeff Bagwell was putting up historic numbers that season.
That work stoppage change affected Montreal baseball more than anybody else, I think, in all of baseball, because it was never the same after that. They were leading the division. Nori spins on that one and hits it into the right field corner. Gurriel turns second base. He'll head into third, and a one-out double for Nori Aoki, and the Astros have runners at second and third for Jake Marisnick, who is now in the leadoff spot.
Something we don't see too often. Last time we saw Nori turn on a baseball here in Oakland, he hit it out of the ballpark. But here, gets on top of this one, lines it into that right field corner. Bottom part of the order for the Houston Astros, setting up nicely for the top.
7th double this season for Nori Aoki. Now you got a runner at third base again with less than 2 outs. An RBI situation here for Jake Marisnick, his first at bat. Again, Springer was the leadoff man, was hit by a pitch to start the game, left the game, went to the clubhouse. Jake Marisnick ran for him, and this is Jake's first at bat. And fouled off the right side.
How about Nori? 106.6 off the bat.
He spun on it, that's for sure. Well, Marisnick, 255 hitter. He's got 9 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Coming into this series, first game of this series, Jake was on quite a home run roll. Astros have homered in each of the 3 games here. They've homered in all 3 ninth innings here. Strike 2, 0-2, and he didn't like the call. Those have been few and far between as you take another look.
Man, just touching that up and away corner.
Jesse Hans gone to school on that strike zone, though. You're going to call it once. He called it twice.
Tell you what, you don't want to pitch elevated all day long, though. You're going to get in trouble.
Time is called.
Use that top part of the zone when you need to, like some of these Astro pitchers have.
Marisnick with a 2-run home run in the 5th inning on Monday night. Astros scored 2 runs on no hits in the first inning. The infield in, that's fouled away. After Springer was hit by the pitch, then a walk, and then back-to-back sacrifice flies. Key in that stretch, too, though, was Josh Reddick taking third base on one of those sacrifice flies to get himself to third with 1 out. Now Gurriel at third. HOU at OAK, who just doubled, he's at second base. Hanging tight, 0-2. This is the Astros' 16th series win of the season. They're 16-6-1. 1-2.
It's a goal of every team when they break camp. Can't win every single game, although we were wondering there for a while when the Astros were on that great run of 11 or 12 in a row. But
yeah.
You try and win every series. It's tough to go out there and win those 4-game series. The Astros are in shape for a sweep.
Jake hits that one deep to left field, going back, looking up, and kissing goodbye. Wow. 3-run home run, Jake Marisnick. His 10th homer of the season.
George who?
Thunder out of that leadoff spot again. It doesn't matter who's hitting there.
And with guys on base, which is awfully nice. Jake made a simple adjustment coming out of spring training. It has been a nice, quick, simple swing. And you see right here unloading on the fastball in off the plate and able to get the barrel to it and launch it deep into the afternoon.
And this one hit to right off the wall, and second extra base hit, third extra base hit of the inning for Josh Reddick.
Did you just make a Michael Jackson reference?
What was that?
Off the wall.
Well played. Take a look at it again.
Why not? 2-seam fastball running in. After a couple of breaking balls away, Jake does a good job of staying closed with the front side, then just unleashing the fury. Estimated 400 feet, 105.5 miles an hour off the bat with a 39-degree launch angle. Got it up in a hurry, and it stayed up for a long time.
Well, you know how Craig Biggio was famous in the National League for taking pitches once the pitcher had just made an out, so he'd give him a little time to catch his breath. Josh Reddick may want to do the same for Jake Marisnick, although Marisnick trotted around the bases. At least give us a chance to show the replay before he jumps on that very next pitch.
It's kind of selfish.
He stands at second base with a double for Carlos Correa. Walked in his first plate appearance. Astros 2 in the first, 3 in the third. This is the 41st pitch of the game for Jesse Hahn. He's got 1 out here in the second inning. And for the second time in this series, the Astros have a 5-0 lead. Three and 0.
It's kind of interesting how Jake moves into that #1 spot in the order, and he does go deep. Kind of retribution for hitting George on the back of the hand. But you can't mess with those Cupid crushers. They'll get you.
Consider Jesse Hahn got. Called a strike.
Charitable.
Yeah, it didn't have to be. 3-1.
Forces him to throw another pitch to Carlos Correa.
Correa's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. A 301 hitter. Ball 4, 5-pitch walk, and there's runners at first and second.
We got a Ford spray chart for you. Carlos Beltran coming to the dish. Career home runs. Remember, he switch hits. but a majority of that time he's going to be hitting left-handed. He likes to hook that ball into the right field corner for 222 home runs, 91 to center, 118 to left field. Some great numbers from a potential Hall of Famer in Carlos Beltran, looking to add on right here against Jesse Hahn, who is struggling.
You go back and you look at all the different categories among switch hitters, and he is at the top of the list in just about every offensive category. .43 pitch day for Jesse Hahn. Hahn went on the disabled list on May 24th, and the 3 starts since coming off the DL. He's 2-0. He's at an ERA below 3 at 2.81 ERA. But man, this offense has chewed him up and spit him out here in these first now inning and a third. As Carlos Beltran bats. Carlos had one of those 9th inning home runs that I spoke about. 2 for 4 with a home run and a walk on Tuesday. Ripped foul. Carlos Beltran just looks like one of the coolest guys, doesn't he? Just everything he does, he strolls to the plate, no hurry.
Have you seen the wardrobe this guy breaks out?
Yes, I have.
Speaking of cool,
look at that. 48th on the all-time home run list.
Could you quit giving me these Magic Johnson like bounce passes to the hoop when you say things like that?
Alley-oops.
Gosh, I feel like Michael Cooper.
I'd go James Worthy on the break. That misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
James Worthy with that simple dunk, just fire it right through.
It is 5-0 in the second. Astros with 2 on and 1 out.
Even better if I had James Worthy's goggles on right now.
That one hit hard. Yonder Alonso dropped it and gets, no, he's safe. That'll load the bases. The error. The A's, that is their 67th, make it their 68th error of the season. That is 13 more than any other major league team.
It's not good. That'll test the patience of your manager also. Yonder Alonso having a great year offensively, usually a very good first baseman.
He's safe.
He was initially looking to go get Carlos Correa at second base because the ball was taken that way, but on the exchange fumbles it. Just didn't react quick enough. Good hustle by Carlos Beltran.
That ball squirts away, but not far enough. So the Astros with the bases loaded for the 2nd time in as many innings.
And one thing we've learned throughout the course of this season, with as good as this lineup is, if you give them an extra out, they're going to take advantage. And how about the starts the Astros have given the young pitchers in this rotation too? Frankie Tuesday got himself a couple-run lead early on, and now David Paulino with a 5-run lead here, still going.
Yeah, Martez had the 5-run lead.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll relax those kids a little bit.
Brad Peacock, Francis Martez. Last night, Mike Fiers, the winning pitcher so far in this series for the Astros. Evan Gattis had a sacrifice fly, drove in the Astros' 2nd run of the game, drove in Reddick in that 1st inning. The Astros scored 2 on no hits in the 1st inning. Hit by pitch, 2 walks and 2 sacrifice flies. They got 4 hits here in this inning, including Jake Marisnick's 10th home run of the year, a 3-run shot. A ball and 2 strikes. Looking to get more here with the bases loaded and 1 out. One and 2. Gattis getting his 2nd straight at bat with runners in scoring position, and that is a good thing. 347 with 24 runs batted in with runners in scoring position. Two balls and two strikes. That ball scorched through the right side. Two more runs will come in to score. Correa to the plate. The throw is cut off, and the Astros lead it 7-0. Three RBIs for Gaddis and 2 at-bats. Astros flexing their muscles now.
Good piece of hitting. Not a true shift on, but enough for Evan Gaddis to find that open space on the right side. And again, the Astros' ability to have these quality at-bats, even when they're deep and behind with 2 strikes, it's impressive.
Marwin, the 9th man to bat here in this 2nd inning. Astros sent 6 to the plate in the 1st inning. This one hit to right and hit. 3-run home run, Marwin Gonzalez, and it's 10-0.
What were we talking about? The dominance of the Houston Astros here at Rickey Henderson Field. Ricky ain't happy about this.
2nd home run of the inning for the Astros.
But I am.
13th of the season for Marwin Gonzalez.
Remember what I said earlier about having issues controlling that fastball for Jesse Hahn. And this is what I mean. You can miss out of the zone with that fastball, but sometimes when you miss in the middle part of the plate, you're going to get ripped. Estimated 410 feet off the bat of Marwin Gonzalez.
Yuli Gurriel with his 2nd at bat of the inning. It popped up. They're not going to be able to find this. Now they do. That is a good thing that was right on top of Bruce Maxwell. He had no clue where that baseball was.
I don't think Jesse Hahn did either.
I think it was Hahn that was actually pointing at it, if I'm not mistaken.
He's going to go rob that from the front row.
Julia, what do you got?
George Springer leaving the game with a left-hand contusion, guys. He's day-to-day X-rays negative.
Excellent.
Yes, that's good news.
Excellent. George will get a little extra rest, and not the way he wanted to get a day off. But in essence, he's going to get one. Bregman back up the middle. Pinder throws across, and that'll do it. But the Astros score 8 in the inning. 2 3-run home runs. They lead it 10-0. 10-0, the Astros with an 8-run second inning. A pair of 3-run home runs. Jake Marisnick and then Marwin Gonzalez. Jake hit his 10th, Marwin hit his 13th, and the Astros on top for David Paulino. Jake came in after George Springer was hit by a pitch to start this game. If you missed it just a moment ago, Julia gave us the update. X-rays on his hand negative. So just a contusion. Marwin launching a long home run as well. He's looking back there as to where that ball went. The 0-2. Yonder Alonso takes high. It's 1-2 strikes. Yonder Alonso, the only 300 hitter on this team right now for the Oakland A's. 3 for 11 in the series for the first baseman. Also had a double. Got him swinging. You know, they talk about guys, some guys, they throw 98, but it doesn't necessarily look like 98. I think maybe just the opposite.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, I agree. We talked about that yesterday with Sean Manaea, able to sneak a couple of fastballs 90-91 past guys, but I agree with you in the sense that that angle that he's working with at 92 miles an hour has proved to be pretty tough early on. How about the aggressiveness early after that 8-run inning too?
One ball, no strikes to Chad Pinder. Pinder hit a home run a couple of days ago for the A's. It's the only home run Astro pitching has allowed in this series. David Paulino pumping in strikes. 1-1 strike. Paulino has struck out 4 of the first 5 Oakland A's he has faced.
So you and all your preparation anticipated the Astros putting up 10 runs with George getting hit, first batter of the game, and not having Altuve in this lineup, right?
I saw the numbers possibly trending that direction.
Yeah. Salty veteran.
The one thing we know about baseball, you never know. Pinder hitting .234. He's got 9 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. 5th strikeout. The first 6 A's he's faced.
Sparky owes me money.
You already got the
already. I took the over, and that one pushes it over. Good pitch. That was a changeup. 83 miles an hour, right on right. It's a pitch we saw a little bit, but he's been pretty heavy on the slider when he gets to that 2-strike count. But Paulino mixing it up, and I love the fact that he is aggressive in the zone.
Free coffee for you tonight in Seattle, huh?
Believe it.
Jacob Brugman, center fielder.
You know any good places up there?
I don't know if you can find it. We will be in Seattle tonight, ready to start a 3-game series tomorrow. Best road team, best record in baseball for A.J. Hinch's bunch. That misses upstairs.
Change up again.
2 strikes. Astros going for their 7th series sweep of the season. And looking good here, albeit early. 2nd inning with a 10-0 lead. 2 in the first, an 8-run 2nd inning. Fouled back. I know how Todd felt in Minnesota the other day.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to look down and trying to see who's banging baseballs off the wall.
I say you didn't have a chance. You were writing in your scorebook, and Josh Reddick hit a rocket.
The 3-2 from Paulino. Walked him. So Brugman is aboard. Let's check in with Julia.
Thank you, Kevin. Nothing beats dollar hot dogs at a baseball game. With the Dollar Dog Pack, you'll receive tickets to 5 Wednesday night home games featuring a fan favorite special, dollar hot dogs. Visit astros.com/mini-plans to purchase your ticket package today.
Wednesday night, hot dog night. My favorite night at the ballpark. Some people don't look forward to Wednesday. I do. Ball 1. Bruce Maxwell, the catcher. Recalled today from Nashville. Four for 19. He was sent down on May 14th. He came up. Josh Fegley went on the DL with a concussion for 7 days. So Maxwell had a cup of coffee here in the big leagues this season.
His catching ERA is taking a little bit of a beating here early on.
It has. Swing and a miss. A's designated Stephen Vogt for assignment before today's game. Well, that was a difficult move for the A's to make. He's a popular guy with the fans here. It's just a struggling ball club right now. And the interesting thing about them is they have struggled terribly on the road. They have just 9 road wins. They've been decent at home, and they've struggled within the division. They're actually a 500 club against everyone outside the American League West. But 12 and 22 against the AL West. 19 and 19 against everyone else in baseball. Fouled off along the left side.
And that turnaround has actually happened relatively quick here in Oakland as far as going from a contending potential wild card team to where they are at now. It was 2013-14 where in a season the A's were 15-4 against the Astros.
Maxwell laces a single into left field. There's 2 runners on. Didn't do too much with it, but the ball was hit hard. Got on Aoki in a hurry. Now the 9th hitter, Adam Rosales, gets his first at bat. 232, 3 homers, 19 runs batted in, and 1 for 7 in the series. Astros leading 10-0. We are just in the 2nd inning. Correa throws across. We're through 2. All Houston. 10-0 Astros.
It's 10-0. No Jose Altuve in this lineup today. AJ Hinch saying everybody deserves a day off, even Altuve, but picked a good spot for him. Day game following the night game, and we've seen this all along, guys, as AJ's tried to give him a day off here and there to keep those legs fresh, but he had the choice. It was either today or maybe against Sean Manaea, who he had struggled with up until yesterday, but he got that first hit off Manaea. Altuve definitely wanted an opportunity to get a hit off Manaea, and he did just that in yesterday's game. But off today, well-deserved for Altuve. He'll be back in there tomorrow.
Yeah, and you know that's got to be so very difficult. It becomes even more difficult for Altuve once he sees everybody getting these swings on a day like today. As you take a look at these first 2 innings. The Astros got those 2 runs. They didn't score. They didn't have a hit when they scored those 2 runs in the first inning, but boy, they made up for lost time. 2 3-run home runs in the second. Jake Marisnick and Marwin Gonzalez both leaving the yard for 3-run home runs. Evan Gattis, he's driven in 3 in his first 2 at-bats. Here is Josh Smith making his second appearance in as many nights. I think he thought he would be called on this early in this ballgame. He was taken deep last night. Gave up a home run in his 1 inning of work. 17th appearance for Josh Smith. Former Cincinnati Red. 2 balls and no strikes. Nori Aoki. Nori doubled his last time up, and you can add a hit to that as he singles right back through the box. 2 for 2 day for Nori Aoki.
Jesse Hahn's ERA went from 3.56 to 4.66. And are you ready for this stat line from Jesse Hahn? 2 innings, 6 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts, 2 bombs.
That is how you pick up nearly an entire run. Wow. On your ERA this late in the season. And 1 trip to the mound. Jake Marisnick had the big swing, 3-run home run.
Threw 57 pitches and gave up 10 runs.
A swing and a miss. First inning, you could just tell he had no command. I mean,
it's almost a run every 6 pitches.
He threw.
Good grief, that's a.
They told me there would be no math. No, he had. Think about it. He threw 25 pitches in the first inning, 19 for balls.
Yeah, that was
he threw 6 strikes
ratio,
in the first inning.
Didn't give up a hit.
And he took a no-hitter in the second. All the old sayings, all the cliches. Baseball will humble you.
Oh. On one end, it looks incredibly easy if you're wearing an orange jersey today. On the other end, it looks like the hardest game you've ever played in your life.
Know this, it looks a lot easier when you're wearing a blue golf shirt.
I'm with you on that. But I will never admit that it is an easy game.
Nori Aoki will cruise into second base. Breaking ball down in the dirt, scoots under Maxwell. So the wild pitch, and Aoki is in scoring position. You can make the argument that Jake Marisnick is in scoring position as well. There it is. That's a good sign right there. Out there taking this game in and moving that left hand around.
Not even bandaged up. We'll ice it a couple times.
It's fouled back. No pun intended, but that leadoff spot's in good hands right now with Jake Marisnick.
Well played. Might get you back on the board.
What's the score?
2-1.
You're up. 10-0. You're wondering what we're talking about. 10-0. The Astros on top, and Jake Marisnick strikes out. There's 1 out in the 3rd. Brings up Josh Reddick. Well, Reddick doubled. He's 1 for 1. Walked and scored in the 1st. Doubled and scored in the 2nd. Day games, You see some guys, they like the sunglasses. Some guys just want no part of it. Could you do the sunglasses?
I was not a sunglass guy. I tried it early on. I'm sure that I played back, the golden era of baseball. But they were just coming out with those Oakleys, and they've obviously advanced technology, and it's gotten a little bit better. But I just didn't feel like it was just a click off for me. And I wore them one time on defense on a bright day in Wrigley, and I went to go field a ground ball, and it didn't hit me in the glove where I thought it was.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
And it just threw me for a loop, and I was mentally unstable enough to where I couldn't wear them again.
Did you wear the flip downs if I remember
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tiger eyes.
This one fouled off, and it'll hit right on top of the tarpaulin there on that third base side. So a beautiful day here.
It
Kevin
is.
Eschenfelder, little Jeff Blum back with you.
I could be wearing the shades now. I don't know why I'm not. I got to get a contract. No, I was a big flip down guy. I couldn't do it with the shades on. I was expecting the ball to hit me in the palm, hit me in the heel, clanked it a little bit, but all of a sudden it just planted that seed in my head that it was just going to be a click off, and I couldn't do it.
Then you see guys with them on their top of their hat, and they'll lose a ball in the sun.
George Springer had one of those in spring, his first big league camp, and that was one of the funnier things ever. Had the sunglasses on his hat, lost it in the sun, ball drops, and it was a televised game. We were calling the game. He turns around to center field, and our center field camera catches him kind of like slyly pulling the glasses off the top of the hat and puts them on his eyes. Yeah. It was great.
Strike three called on Josh Reddick. He'll make that right-hand turn and head back to the dugout. And they are 2 outs now.
This is a backdoor slider, and a good one, too. Catching that outside edge.
You look at that box, and that was the only one that even came close to touching the box. Astros on top 10-0. Carlos Correa has walked both of his first 2 plate appearances. 301 the batting average for Carlos, and you knew Carlos was going to be a run producer. You know he's a guy that's going to drive in runs. He's going to hit for power. But man, a guy that's going to hit 300 with the other kind of tools that he has, that's what he's doing right now. Aoki leads away from second base, a swing and a miss. Hit on the right side. Chad Pender will retire the side. But for the first time today, the Astros held scoreless. They lead 10-0.
Lead. time for our Chevy Stroh poll today. Jump on Twitter, follow us at Root Sports SW to find our poll as well. What is your favorite Astros team is our question today. Is it the 1986 team, 98, 2005, 17, 86 team, the division champs, lost in the NLCS to the Mets, 98, 102 wins for them. Of course, 2005 team going to the World Series, and the Astros 49-24 in 2017, the best 73-game start in Astros history.
Really not even close as far as the best team.
Who you got?
You know, I'm going to show my age. I'm going 86. That was such a fun team with Nolan and Mike Scott. It was one of those deals where you could go out. Jim DeShays was so good. It seemed like every time you went to the ballpark, you were wondering if somebody was going to throw a no-hitter. Not win the game, but throw a no-hitter.
And that whole season, the way it ended, the way the playoffs went, they were just epic battles all through the end of that season. And I tell the story all the time. We finished a season, I believe it was 2014, in Citi Field with the New York Mets, and Keith Hernandez does their play-by-play and played first base during that series against the Astros. Him and Alan Ashby literally went play-by-play, almost pitch by pitch through that series, and I just sat there in awe listening to just great story after great story.
It was an amazing run, and you know, it was a different era. You had to win your division.
Was it expected? Did you guys, as fans, did you understand how good that team was and expect them to go that deep into that?
I think they were supposed to be good, but I'm not sure.
There's something a little bit different about them.
Good. Yeah, there was a special, and they got the really good seasons out of the bullpen for guys. Dave Smith was a really good closer, but you had guys like Charlie Kerfeld who came on and had really good years, and that's how it worked. You know how that is. With those teams like that, that one fouled back. But those teams like that, it's always that guy that you think back and you go, oh wait, I remember him, and he really put together a really good season. That kind of
Billy Hatcher, some clutch hits.
You know, Billy Hatcher with the big home run against the Mets. Everybody remembers that. What everybody doesn't remember is Billy Hatcher fouled one off. He fouled one about, you know, when he hit that netting, which was the foul pole in that game. He fouled one off right before that, and the same at bat, just missed a big home run. Marwin makes that play.
And then hit one fair?
Yes.
Wow.
I'll bring up Matt Olson.
For me, that's a lot of Astro baseball that I remember growing up in LA, because the Astros were in that National League West. So there was some great battles against the Dodgers and Padres when I was growing up in Southern California, and that's the jersey I remember all those guys wearing.
Absolutely. And that's the interesting thing too, is, you know, I've got a few years on you. As I grew up, it was the National League West, and you loved late night baseball during the summer.
Yeah.
The Braves, but then it was the Giants. And that's why you hated the Dodgers and the Reds.
Exactly.
You know, it was at that point the Cardinals were in the East, and you didn't even know anything about the American League. That one ripped foul to the right side. Matt Olson. Got his first hit of the season in his first at bat. Now 1 for 10 on the year. You didn't like the Dodgers. You didn't like the Reds, because it was the Reds, the Astros, and the Dodgers that really dominated that division. Tommy Lasorda was public enemy #1. He left Art Howe off the. I think as the story goes, Artie, text me if you correct me, but I think Art was leading the National League in hitting, and Tommy Lasorda left him off the All-Star team.
Tommy Lasagna.
Fernando Valenzuela would come through there, and when he was at his best. Who was your team growing up? Were you a Padres guy? Were you a Dodgers guy?
I was mostly a Dodger, Angel, and partial Padre. I remember Bill Russell, Davey Lopes, Ron Say, Steve Garvey, and there you go. Speaking of ending that 86 World Class season.
Look at this. He says, you take it. I don't want you to toss it to me. You take it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Danny Darwin. Scotty in the booth.
Xavier Hernandez, you take a look at those. And that
You're going back right now, ain't you?
That was a stretch. Robbie Wine. Yeah, that was back in the day. That was a stretch. That ended a stretch. It was a swing and a miss with Ryan Healy. the 3 consecutive games, the first of those 3 was Deshae striking out the first 8 Dodgers he faced. The next day was a 1-hitter by Nolan. And then Mike Scott comes back. How about that?
We actually had a graphic on that.
It was a 3-hitter, 1-hitter, no-hitter.
Yes. We had a graphic on that. The numbers that popped up, we just started giggling because they were so good.
And yeah, and Ash had the best seat in the house for all of those. That's in high and in, and Healy backs away from that one. It's 1-1.
It's the second time Healy's gotten one up and in.
I do like the wild card. I love the wild card.
I enjoy it.
But I think it adds to the races. But at the same time, there was a certain intensity. 6-4 to 3 in the double play. 4th in the last 2 games for the Astros. That'll send it to the 4th. Look at Jim Deshae. Get up here, big guy. The Oakland A's as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Our league leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. The slugging percentage, it's not going to go down today, that's for sure. 476.
Yeah, that's definitely going to go up a little bit, but those are incredible numbers. That's in all of Major League Baseball.
They lead the American League coming into today in runs. They are now over 400 runs scored. That'll be 406 now. Slugging percentage tied for, well, they've taken the lead in home runs. Carlos Beltran leads it off here in the 4th. It's off the plate, a ball.
Well, Jake Marisnick set a new career high in home runs for a season, and everyone he hits from here on out is going to set that new bar. So he has 10 home runs. There are 7 current Astros on this roster with double-digit home runs. Alex Bregman has 7. Yuli's got 7. Josh Reddick has 6. So you're looking at a ball club that could potentially have every position player with at least 10 or more home runs by the end of the season, which should be pretty easy to get to.
And to me, what makes that more dangerous is those guys, you're not having a guy that's hitting 240 with those,
yeah.
you know, with those 12 home runs. You got guys that are hitting 270.
Well, the Astros are, well, after this ball game, obviously coming into this game hitting 279 as a team, 279.
Strike 3 call. Beltran goes down looking to lead off here in the 4th inning, bring up Evan Gattis.
Josh Smith has come in and proven to be the kryptonite so far.
That's
good. The Astros are exhausted.
Yeah, perfect pitch. Evan Gattis has driven in 3 of those 10 runs in his first 2 at-bats. Sacrifice fly in the first and a 2-run single in the second. First pitch swinging. Rosales throws him out 6-3. There's 2 outs here in the 4th. Marwin hit his 13th homer of the year. It wasn't even the only 3-run home run of the game or the inning for the Astros in that second inning. It was the second 3-run home run of the inning. Marisnik and Marwin both doing the trick in the second.
Do you know how many games the 2014 Oakland A's won? They finished second in the American League West.
I mean, they won
99 games in 2014. Just to give you an idea of how quickly things can turn around.
You can go sideways in a hurry, especially if you're not a team that's you're going to have to develop talent on the lower levels.
88 wins. 88. I apologize. According to their run differential, it should have been 99, but they won 88. I apologize, finishing second.
You know, they're not a big money market team, so they're going to have to develop players on the lower levels. And you know, the disappointing thing for these guys is the fact that, remember, they had swept a 4-game series against the Yankees before the Astros came to town.
That's what's incredible. That power hitting force of the New York Yankees come into this place and they take 4 from them.
And they were close games too. It wasn't, you know, so good, exciting games with a lot of folks here in the ballpark. And you think, as a home team, man, we got to build on this. But the Astros come in here and just drop a bomb on them.
They have a high turnover in talent, but they've also been notorious for developing good young players and trading them away for more young guys. And there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of talk about that guy we saw pitch the other day that the Astros put a 5-run spot on in the first inning, and Sonny Gray. It's not just the Astros looking at him. He's garnering attention all across the league.
And that's another thing we talked about, the wild card, and what, you know, especially now that the 2 wild card teams and how that has changed the dynamic of the trade deadline.
Gives teams absolutely, you know, a ray of hope. They don't want to trade those guys away because they might sneak into that wild card.
Ryan Healy, high sky, and that'll retire the side. 3.5 in the books. Astros lead 10-0. Team of all time, 2005, not bad. Chris Burke, the more memorable home runs in Astros history.
18th inning?
Yes, it was.
There were some big home runs earlier in that game, too.
And it was Andy Pettit was on his way back to the ballpark, if memory serves. And he was,
we need help.
Roger Clemens was, we pitched in relief. Here's David Paulino facing Chris Davis here to lead off in the fourth. So we go through those teams, and I said 86 was probably my favorite team, but 98, that was the year in which you kind of felt like when they made that deal for Randy Johnson that, boy, now you're gone to a different level. Foul back.
I had just finished my 3rd minor league season, and understanding how good the Astros were offensively, when they picked up Randy Johnson, a lot of us in the clubhouse just watching the big league news said this is it.
But all the talk had been about the Yankees or him going to the Red Sox, the big market, you know, then the Astros come out of nowhere. And, you know, Freddie Garcia, you know, they think about
shortstop.
Guillen, and then John Halama was the 3rd player in that trade. A couple of guys who had really good major league careers. But boy, when Randy Johnson was in Houston, you know, you got the feeling as an Astro fan for the first time in a long time you were on the map.
Yep.
And the dome was absolutely electric every time he pitched. Talking 50,000 fans.
Then that beast of a man, Kevin Brown, decided to show up in that San Diego uniform. That was unreal.
You know, and I don't think Kevin Brown bothered Astro fans as much as Sterling Hitchcock did. He was the guy.
That's the guy you got to go out and beat, right?
Yeah, he was the one that, you know, Kevin Brown was a really good pitcher that beat you. That Sterling Hitchcock was the one that frustrated you. There's a swing and a miss and another strikeout. That is the 6th strikeout of the game for David Paulino. Jesse Orozco. Oh, look at this. Billy Hatcher.
Look at, they're up in the rafters up there watching that ball game.
It was nuts. You'd be hard pressed to find a louder baseball stadium than that one right there. He had great personalities on that team too. That was when I was still right out of high school, still getting into college, but yet I was still, you know, doing some work for radio stations and going and taking the tape recorder and going in clubhouses and things like that. Yonder Alonso fouls that one down the right side. And they had great personalities and guys that, you know, Larry Anderson and you know, you had Charlie Kerfeld, you had the Coneheads, and they would wear the Coneheads during their post game. Larry Anderson would do his best to mess up post-game sound bites. The ball hit on a line to center field right at Jake Marisnick, and there's 2 outs.
Come out to the ballpark on June 29th through July 2nd as the Astros celebrate Play Ball Weekend. For more information, visit playball.org. Doing a good job of getting the youth involved in some baseball.
Bring up Chad Pender. He struck out back in the 2nd inning. 6 punch-outs today for David Paulino. Works here in the 4th inning. '74th game of the season for the Astros. They go for their 50th victory today. One ball and 1 strike. Seems like Paulino's been ahead in the count all day.
I agree. It's a good mentality for a young kid too. Sometimes you get that big lead and all of a sudden you want to put up some great numbers and go for the punch outs, but he's done a very good job pitching on the edges with that fastball and getting ahead. And we've actually seen, for me, probably the better breaking ball from David Paulino than we've seen in any of his starts.
Now 3 balls and 1 strike. And for a young guy to trust the stuff, and we say trust the stuff, be in the zone. Know that your stuff is good enough to beat that guy at the plate. That went right back through the box. That ball was hard hit by Chad Pender, and the A's have their 3rd hit of the day. Oh, a 2-out single. Pinder is aboard for Jacob Brugman.
You know, you get yourself a fastball when you lay off the breaking ball like the pitch before for Chad Pinder. It's actually one of the few ways it's been swinging a pretty decent bat in this series. The only home run for the Oakland A's has been off the bat of Chad Pinder.
Walked in his first plate appearance. A big looping curveball. One and one. Was there a guy that could spin the baseball that just the best curveball that you remember?
Easy. Played in the Astros for the Astros. Darryl Kyle. You could hear it.
You could hear it hiss.
So much spin.
Hiss.
The seams. You could hear it just as it was coming in and snap well under my effort of a swing against it.
Here's a 2-1. Two balls and two strikes. To the BYU man, Jacob Brugman. Walked, reached second base in the second inning. That one hit on the ground. Marwin bobbled it, throws, and recovers and makes the play. Through 4, 10-0 Astros. West. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box, come try the sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger combo for $4.99. Limited time only. 10-0 Astros on top here in Oakland. So we go to the 5th inning. Flashback to 1993. Darryl Kyle, the aforementioned curveball.
Nightmarish.
Throws a no-hitter against the New York Mets. Feeble swings like that.
He had a couple different ones too. You see that one that was a little bit bigger, took some speed off it, but he had one that would just jump out of his hand and just snap straight down and create swings and misses. Really impressive stuff.
Yuli Gurriel leads it off, 1 for 2. Singled and scored in a 8-run second inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yuli hitting .280 on the season. Astros scored 2 in the first, 8 in the second, lead 10-0. Yuli fouls that one back. Josh Smith in relief of Jesse Hahn, who gave up 9 earned runs in 2 innings of work. There you see the no-hitters. Ken Johnson lost that game to the Reds. Now Don Wilson, the one in 1969, May 1st, 1969 against the Reds. That was the day after the Astros had been no-hit by Cincinnati. How about that? Back-to-back no-hitters.
Kidding me?
Nope. Mike Scott, September 25th, 1986. Nolan did it against the Dodgers. Dusty Baker made the last out in that one. Dodgers on that list a couple of times. Is it the Padres that still don't have one?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Mets were on that list for a long time for Johan Santana.
Yeah. Controversial call on that foul ball.
Three balls, two strikes. Scott on the left side. Now Joyce. That's that high sky. The Twitterverse liking our Chevy Stroll poll today.
It's a good one.
$19.98.
Making the cover of Sports Illustrated.
You know, when he came to Houston from Seattle, he had an ERA about 4 3/4. Came to Houston, what do you go, 9-1 with a sub-2 ERA.
Yep.
Just dominated. He's in your book.
Yes, he is. He was not happy about it.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
You know, it's funny, in Cooperstown, when Craig was inducted, that ball hit well to left, going back. And at the track and making the catch is Matt Joyce. That ball was well struck by Alex Bregman, and there's 2 away. Because Randy could be, I think it's fair to say, it's not going out of line to say that Randy could be a little surly from time to time.
Yeah.
And he pitched that way, and it was work for him. Got him in the Hall of Fame, but he seemed like a real affable guy at the Hall of Fame. And he called, what I thought was really interesting was when we talked to him at the Hall of Fame when he was at the induction, he said that his 2 months in Houston were the best 2 months of his career. In terms of,
well, he put up crazy numbers.
In terms of his performance, he called those 2 months the best 2 months of baseball that he pitched. He said he had great fond memories of Houston. Of course, went on to Arizona and continued that Hall of Fame career. Nori Aoki bats with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. The Astros leading 10-0. George Springer hit by a pitch to lead off this game. X-rays negative on his hand. He's back in the dugout. The Astros scored 2 in the first without a hit, then came back and made up for lost time in the 2nd inning with an 8-run 2nd inning. 2 3-run home runs in that 2nd inning. Fouled away. Josh Smith in his 2nd inning of relief.
No, he's halfway to that cycle.
His 3rd inning of relief, beg your pardon. He's got the double, he's got the single. That one laced down the line. Nori's going to have his 2nd double of the game, and he'll hold up at 2nd base.
Kidding me? Shut it down halfway to 2nd. You got to at least give it a look.
Especially at 10-0. Nori with his 2nd double. He's a 3-for-3 man.
That's Norrie's version of the hit and run. Might have been the run and hit. He was moving before he made contact.
Slaps it into that left field corner. Now he's at second base. 2 outs for the top of the order and Jake Marisnick. Three-run home run for Jake, his 10th home run of the season. And it was a bomb. It's the second home run of this series. It's Jake's, what, third home run in his last 5 games? No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the 5th. Here's the 0-2 to Jake. Did he hold up? No, he did not. Go to the bottom of the 5th, 10-0 Astros.
Your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at Astros.com/vote and catch all of the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th, live on Fox. Kevin.
Julie, what was your favorite Astro team?
I love that 86 team, even though I didn't watch them in person.
But I know you get associations with being
it.
around them. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The more I learn about them, getting to interview guys like Mike Scott and hearing those stories, it's a really cool team. It might be 86. This one's pretty fun too, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
This team's gonna change some minds, that's for sure.
Yeah, there were so many. We talked about the personalities, but there were also, you got to remember too. And there was a guy named Bill Doran on that team that was a big. He formed the future of a Hall of Famer in Craig Biggio. You think about Bill Doran was a guy that he knew all too well. Craig Biggio was there to take his job. Took him out there on the dirt when the rodeo was going on at the Astrodome, set up for the rodeo or motocross, one of the two, and helped him with playing second base.
Wow.
There at the Astrodome. And yes, Randy Johnson, thank you, Twitter. 10-1 with a 1.28 ERA. He's from this area.
Yeah, Walnut Creek, just over the hill here. Came back and played for the Giants. But yeah, 1.28, that's doing some damage.
You know, we haven't even talked about, 2005. That was There's a base hit right back up the middle. That was another time when you really realized that you were on the map too, and you got guys like Roger Clemens and Andy Pettit. And Roy Oswalt was just filthy as well.
Morgan Ensberg having a career year. Lance Berkman. How about that? Your first memory is a Mike Scott no-hitter.
September 25th,
I'd be hooked too.
1986.
Did you happen to catch that little dig that Julia fired at us?
No.
She said that she liked the '86 team, but she goes, not that I can remember watching them. So you know, but I felt that.
Well, actually, I almost double clutched when I asked you the question because I knew. I mean, I knew. You know, you weren't around for that. That's okay. That's.
Trust me, in these broadcasts, she's seen plenty of video of that year.
I know she is. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you usually know when my digs are coming, or that wasn't one though.
I'm also a big believer that you didn't have to have seen it to know about it.
It's true. You know, that whole season really was an incredible year for baseball. Going back and watching some of the highlights of 1986 and how it all ended up, it was crazy.
Dwight Gooden, of course, Mets and Red Sox.
Bill Buckner.
Although I wanted the Red Sox to win the World Series because if you were an Astro fan, you hated the Mets.
Yeah. Totally understandable.
Adam Rosales is 0 for 1 with the ground out in the second inning. Doc Gooden, the ridiculous season he put together. And in that 86 All-Star game was at the Astrodome. Was that
even better?
Was that Clemens and Gooden?
Could have been. Should have been.
I'm sure Twitter will tell us.
Yeah, somebody has time to look that up.
Ball hit to right at the former A. Josh Reddick. 2 outs. Maxwell retreats back to first base, turns it over to the top of the order. Matt Joyce will get his third at bat. Beg your pardon, it's 1 out.
It's one way to pick up pace of play.
You like that?
Listen to us.
Just listen to us. And
2 outs.
Everybody runs off. Everybody runs off the field. We go to break. Oh well, we've gone this far. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's Matt Joyce batting with 1 out. Maxwell led off with a single. He's at first base. Joyce 0 for 2 today. Blocked by Gaddis. Well, Paulino's certainly not. I mean, he's a guy that at 23 years old, make no mistake about it, he looks like a guy that, not a thrower, he's a pitcher. He knows what looks like he knows what he's doing. Mixing speed, changing speeds and working different areas of the zone as well. Ball hit high to left. And Norrie going back. Norrie at the wall, and it's off the wall. Joyce goes into second base. They'll hold the runner at third as Maxwell holds up there. It'll go as a 1-out double. I wonder where that ball is hit. There's that gap in the stadium where the wind really blows. I wonder if that changed the trajectory there a little bit for Norrie Aoki. It was a long way to run as well.
Yeah, but it looked like that fly ball was getting pushed a little bit off the top of the wall. Fastball. Joyce gets the barrel to it. Not sure where Norrie was going with that, but ball hitting about 7 or 8 feet to his left off the top of the wall.
So runners at second and third for Matt Olson. Astros lead 10-0. Led 10-0 since the second inning. Strike one. Olsen 1 for 10 this season. First hit came in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Reached base both times. Singled in the first, walked in the third. Astros looking for their first 4-game sweep on the road since 2013. That was, we talk about some of the more memorable Astro teams. That was one of the not so memorable Astro teams.
Oh.
We think about Eric Bedard got the win in the final game of that 4-game series, and that was actually a 6-0 road trip for the Astros. You remember that?
Yeah, that was 2 games in Colorado.
Win 51 games. Those are, you remember those?
Yeah, when you get, as Julia stated, 25% of your wins on one road trip.
Yeah. That's a ground ball right at Correa. A's are on the board. And some applause dripping with sarcasm there. So the RBI ground out by Matt Olson makes it 10-1. Ryan Healy bats for the second time. Healy struck out in the first, grounded into a double play, a 6-4-3 double play in the third inning. Astros have turned 4 double plays, turned 3 last night, turned 1 today. Their defense has been, you think about, you're in pretty good shape to sweep a 4-game series. You're thinking offense, you're thinking pitching. Those check both the boxes, but their defense has been outstanding in this series. That one hit right at Bregman, kind of got him in an in-between hop, but he'll throw across. And that'll retire the side here in the 5th. The Astros lead at 10-1.
Leading the A's. And it's time to play Name That Astro. This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We give you 3 clues. You tweet us your best guess at Root Sports SW. Here are your clues. Love the Drake, K's, and owns a World Series ring. Best of luck to you. Tweet us those guesses.
Hate the Drake.
What's wrong with the Drake?
Seinfeld reference. You guys got it?
I don't.
Julia can't believe you don't have it.
How do you know I'm not playing along?
I'm shocked. You know it immediately, every day. Every day.
You're ruining it. I was going to play this thing up. Sorry.
So we stumped Plummer, everyone.
Josh Reddick deep to right and kissed that one goodbye. The former A sends a souvenir up to his fans. And that is how he greets Michael Brady.
Brady's not enjoying the fact that he's a pitcher these days, is he?
If I'm not mistaken,
Carlos Beltran got him.
On the first pitch he threw. First batter he faced in the big leagues was Carlos Beltran. That was 2 nights ago. He went deep. First batter he faces here in his second major league appearance, and Josh Reddick takes him deep.
10-1, and you ambush that first heater.
Reddick with his 7th home run of the season. 11-1 Houston here in the 6th. Correa walked his first 2 at bats, scored in the 2nd. Michael Brady, right across the bay. He played his college baseball at Cal. There's George Springer.
How about Michael Brady was playing shortstop at Cal, and Marcus Semien, the current shortstop for the Oakland A's, who's on the DL, was playing third base.
Correa hits that one into the gap. Looking to take 2. Correa will go into second base. Here's the throw, and Correa goes in standing up.
Some strong Cal ties here at Oakland. Bob Melvin, a Golden Bear.
It's the 6th extra base hit of the game for the Astros. They're not going to hurt that slugging percentage today.
And you know what still continues to impress me about some of these young hitters that the Astros have, and obviously Carlos Correa is one of my favorites, is that in a ball game like this where you've got a huge lead and you really think guys are going to start to lean back and try and do a little too much, namely take big swings and try and drive the ball out of the ballpark, what does he do? Takes a fastball away and rifles it into the opposite field gap for a double.
Carlos Beltran, first pitch swinging. That one hit left field. And Matt Joyce makes that play. Correa draws a throw. He'll stay at second base.
It's a sign of maturity and greatness.
There you see the numbers on Michael Brady, just recalled from Nashville, just called up from Nashville. Made his major league debut on Tuesday. It's in the dirt of ball. Gaddis with that sacrifice fly got the Astros on the board in the first. The Astros scored 2 runs without a hit in the first inning. Had 2 sacrifice flies. Then a 2-run single for Gaddis in the second. He's 1 for 2. Hit high on the right side. God. And Chad Pinder makes that play. There's 2 outs. Our Strolpo, we want to know your favorite Houston Astro team. It's a good call there, Will Jackson. 2005, after that 15-30 start.
How do you write a team off after 45 games? I mean, it seems a little abrupt.
And it was.
Yeah, obviously, huh?
Very abrupt. Marwin Gonzalez hit his 14th home run to make it his 13th home run of the season. That was back in the second inning. 3-run homer from Marwin. Astros continuing to put together big innings, huge numbers. Marwin Gonzalez leading this team in OPS. This is a guy who was a Rule 5 draft pick. You go back and you look at all of the transactions that Jeff Luhnow has made. That's where it started right there.
Will Harris, a waiver claim. I believe Colin McHugh was a waiver claim. We talked about Francis Martez. Kind of a guy thrown into that trade deal, and he wasn't even on the team who had him's radar.
Neither was David Paulino, who's getting the start here today.
They're going to end up walking out of here with victories.
Marwin, the Rule 5 pickup, was it the Cubs? I believe it was.
I think so.
And guys, you know, you look at the guys that went through those very, very lean years, and there's not many of them left. There's not many of them left because a lot of those guys, the reason there was years were lean was because of those guys. But that said, it took a lot of guts. It took a lot of toughness to not have those bad seasons ruin players like Altuve.
You will see guys disappear because they give in to the psychology that's around them.
Dallas Keuchel, Marwin Gonzalez. Ripped foul. George Springer was a draft pick there. He was kind of that new cycle going through the minor leagues. And a cycle that turned a culture from a minor league culture from one that did not have a whole lot of success to one that did. And I thought that was something that gets underrated by this newer regime, was that they wanted a winning culture, not just results, but just guys that were used to winning in the minor leagues.
No, I completely agree on that.
Ball hit on a line. Good play by Pender, and he throws him out. We'll retire the side here in the 6th for the Astros, but Josh Reddick goes deep to right. 11-1 Houston.
Your hosting clients are celebrating a special occasion. Make your next group outing to Minute Maid Park a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite. The Astros will provide you and your group with an unforgettable experience. Visit astros.com/suites or call 1-877-9-ASTROS to reserve that luxury suite today.
David Paulino delivers ball 1 to Chris Davis to start here in the 6th inning. 11-1 Houston. Astros with 3 home runs today. 2-run, make it 3-run homers by Marisnick and Marwin. And a solo shot by Josh Reddick. Davis 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Yeah, we go back to the guys that have pitched in minor league levels and things like that. And, well, tip of the cap, you look at this series alone, the Astros scouting department. That one fouled off down the left side. It's Francis Martez and David Paulino, who is on his way. Things don't go sideways in a hurry. He's got an 11-1 lead here possibly two guys getting wins in this series. These are guys that were 18-year-olds, throw-ins to draft, to trades when they were acquired. David Paulino was, we talked about the story of Francis Martez, whenever they included him in that trade and asked for him in that trade, the GM from the Marlins had to call Jeff Luhn, said, "I'll let me call you back." Called him back. He said, we'll do the deal. And he didn't know who Martez was. He said, "Your scouts are doing a good job." David Paulino, this ball hit hard into the gap in right center field. Reddick will get it back in. Chris Davis will cruise into second base with a double.
One thing I've learned since being here with this new generation of Astros is that the guys in the front office are not afraid to go in there and dig on some numbers and get those scouts out there and see some guys.
Well, Martez was a guy that the Marlins GM had to double check on because exactly find out who it was. But you think about David Paulino, Detroit, they called Jeff Luhn back and said, "You sure you want to do this? He's having Tommy John surgery." And so he said, "Yep, we want him." He was 18 years old. Now he's in the big leagues here at 23. Under Alonso, 0 for 2. Bats here after the one-out double, or beg your pardon, no-out double by Chris Davis. One ball and one strike.
Next pitch will be number 99 for David Paulino, and you're starting to see a couple of these pitches up in the zone. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in.
Tried the off-speed pitch there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Under Alonso hoping to make it to the All-Star game in his hometown of Miami. Three balls and 1 strike. Astros looking for their 10th consecutive win here in Oakland. They have outscored the A's 63-23. His last 9+ games here in the Coliseum. Bregman chasing that one down, makes the play in the third base coach's box. 1 out in the 6th. 63-23.
I think anything will amaze me more than that Minnesota series.
Yeah, that set the bar pretty high.
Yeah, that was destructive.
.6'7", David Paulino. He allowed 1 run, and that was on a ground out. Astros led 10-0 after 2. A's got on the board in the 5th. Astros answered right back. The Josh Reddick home run in the 6th, and now we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chris Davis led off the inning with a double. This is Chad Pinder, 1 for 2, singled in the 4th. One ball and 1 strike. I think guys start to labor. Young guys sometimes make the mistake of trying to add, trying to throw more firm. It looks like, if anything, right now, David Paulino is subtracting.
It's Probably the toughest thing to teach a young pitcher is it's okay to take a little bit of velocity off a couple of your pitches to create a little more movement, but also throw the timing of the hitter off.
Foul down the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Going to go along with all those numbers we talked about offensively. Astros with that 3.62 team ERA. That is the best in the American League. Also, their starters with an ERA of 3.51. That is also tops in the league. Brad Peacock got the win in the opener. Francis Martez and on Tuesday night, Mike Fiers last night went to 4-0 in his last 5 starts with the win, and Evan Gattis will make his way out to the mound. There you go. Dwight Gooden and Roger Clemens. Thank you, Ignacio.
Couple of soft throwers hanging out with each other.
Oh, man. You know, Dwight Gooden made his major league debut at the Astrodome. What, 1984? Around that area.
Was it?
Yeah. He was so excited about making his major league debut. He didn't wait for the bus. He left early, went to the game, just walked across from the hotel. And when he got there, gates were locked. He climbed over the fence in the parking lot.
Gosh,
that's the legend.
somebody's excited.
I've heard that story. I don't know if I'll buy that one because you had to find an open gate sooner or later. Chad Pinder bangs that one into the gap. That went up off the wall. Risnick will get it back in, and the A's get their second run of the game. It's 11-2. RBI double Chad Pinder. His 25th RBI this season. And the Astros going to make a change. A.J. Hinch makes his way out to the mound. Well, David Paulino hands the baseball to A.J. Hinch. 11-2 Astros.
Performance. Astros bullpen's been pretty good in this series, throwing 9 2/3 innings, racking up 13 punch-outs. Set up nicely that first night in on Monday when A.J. Hinch was able to go to Harris, Davinsky, Giles, pick up that save. Luke Gregerson coming back into form here. Old stomping grounds of Oakland Coliseum. It's good to see these guys doing well. And it was all set up by some good starting pitching, allowing them to come in and put up great numbers and get those holds and those saves.
Well, now James Hoyt the relief pitcher. He comes in his 20th appearance of the season. 1-0 in those 23 innings of work. ERA of 5.09. Hoyt delivers ball 1. So put it in perspective for you. James Hoyt was born 5 days after, beg your pardon, 5 days, after Mike Scott's no-hitter in 1986. So needless to say, he didn't see it. That ball laced into right field. There's Jacob Brugman. The ball got away out there. Brugman will go into second base. See what they call this. Run scores. It is 11-3.
I would imagine it's a base hit, an error on Josh Reddick out there in right field.
So a single and an E9 allowing Brugman to get to second base.
Brugman taking the off speed back up the middle, just out of the reach of Marwin Gonzalez. Good look at Josh Reddick trying to get around that. Didn't do a good enough job. Gets by him and the run scores.
That ball jumped up out of a divot. Astros' first error of the game. One ball to no
football
strikes.
Season yet. Usually you come back here August and September and the field chewed up.
Did they get the paint? Did they get the yard line markers off?
As good as they can. It's not 100% perfect.
Hit on the ground to Gurriel. He'll take it to the bag. So Maxwell grounds out. Retired for the first time today after a couple of hits in his first 2 at-bats. Brugman moves over to third base, and there's 2 away in the inning. Guess you had to deal with that in San Diego. Was it?
I was at Petco Park, but I did play at.
Did you play at Jack Murphy?
Yes, played there quite a bit.
So you had to deal with that.
Yep. Joe Robbie Stadium down in Miami had the same issue. I haven't played at, was it Three Rivers, Riverfront?
Well, the Riverfront was Cincinnati. Three Rivers was Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Philadelphia was the same way, but obviously with that AstroTurf, you didn't have to deal with as many issues as the natural grass surface.
Did you play at the Vet?
Yeah. I liked playing there. Did not like playing at Three Rivers.
I still think PNC Park is among the places to visit. The one across the bay here. PNC Park, to me, #1 and #1A.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Take your pick.
It was beautiful to play there, but sitting on the roof there calling games, you actually get a pretty good view of downtown.
You get a great view of downtown. Unfortunately, you don't get a great view of the game.
Yeah.
And it's a strange perspective to really get a feel. And that's what guys like Todd are so good at, being able to see when a ball's really hit and how well it's hit. And a lot of times you're watching the outfielders to see their reactions. That one hit to center field. Jake Marisnik a couple steps over to his right and in, and he'll make the play. And it's 3 away. A's get a couple. It's 11-3.
the top of the 7th. And time to reveal today's Chevy Stroh poll winner. Thanks to everyone who voted in our Stroh poll. What was your favorite, or what is your favorite Astros team was our question today. 57% of you are loving the team that's on the field right now. 2017 Houston Astros over the 2005 Astros, getting 24% of the vote.
Wow, that's nice.
I just love the Chevy Stroh poll. Gives fans a chance to interact and be a part of it.
There's just more fans that know how to work Twitter from this generation than that 86 generation. No offense.
No, the thought.
You're pretty active on it.
The thought crossed my mind.
I mean, you've got three computers over here that you're working with, trying to figure out how to vote on the Stroh poll.
That's so wrong. So wrong. One popped up on the right side. Under Alonso, shading his eyes, makes the play in foul territory. There's one away.
I think what's great, though, is that those were very good teams, and people are voting for the 2017 team. And the rate these guys are on, we're going to be talking about these guys for a while. Some of the runs they've been on, the runs they've been able to produce. Offensively, this lineup is going to be compared to against some of the best.
Rajay Davis has come into play left field for the Oakland A's. Some other defensive changes. Bregman takes that one, strike one. Astros have been in control since about 2:45 this afternoon. Game started at 2:30. Throws him out 6-3.
One of the key parts of that 2017 team is what Carlos Correa has done, not only with the bat, but with the glove, flashing the leather, getting some notoriety around the league. Now the AL shortstop league leader as far as all-star votes are concerned. But the way he's been playing with the bat and the leather, by the end of the season, especially with Mike Trout still on the DL, he's going to get some MVP looks, if not a ton of MVP votes.
Hey, thank you very much for voting. We a bunch of people voting today. I love the fact that we had the Mother's Day uniform on, we had the Father's Day uniform on, we had the Memorial Day uniform. HOU at OAK, 3 for 3 today. So Rajay Davis comes in. He plays left field now. And it is now Matt Olson at first base. I said Yonder Alonso. They made 3 defensive changes. So it's Matt Olson at first base. Matt Joyce moves to right field. It's 2-1 to HOU at OAK. Oakey hits that one high in the air. Center field, Brugman. And that will retire the side. Stretch time here in Oakland, all Houston.
Presented by your local Honda dealer. We'll give you 3 clues. I'm not even sure if we got any correct guesses. I didn't get a chance to look, but the answer is Jim DeShays. Guys.
I thought the profile gave it away.
Oh man, JD. 1986. Time set a then Astros rookie record for wins.
8 straight punch outs. I believe this is that ball game against the Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda pinch hit for the pitcher.
Yes, he did. After 8 straight punch outs.
Alex Trevino was in that Dodger lineup.
There it was.
That was a big pinch hit. You imagine pressure?
One of the good guys.
Do you know how many strikeouts he ended up with in that game?
Yes, it was 10, wasn't it?
Had 8 in the first 3 innings and then 2 the rest of the way.
There wasn't much after that. He is, of course, now Cubs broadcaster.
Played a lot of golf with Jim DeShays, Bill Brown, and those guys, and guys in the truck, even that are still working with the Astros.
Absolutely.
Playing a lot of golf when I was playing with the Astros. I can say that now.
I still do. He in the winter,
yeah.
You know, in the winter he comes through and.
Well, it just gives you an idea. He's smart, funny, but very smart because he spends his winters in Houston.
He comes through, and when he does, we usually go hit it around a little bit. Just one of the really good people. Just swing and a miss. Matt Joyce strikes out. That's how the A's lead off the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Already?
Yes, sir. James Hoyt gets the punch out. We got Rosales in the 6th after David Paulino. Pretty strong effort today for Paulino. Putting together 5 1/3, 3-run, 7-hit baseball. Walked a couple, struck out 6. Matt Olson. So did you play a lot of golf when you as a player?
Yeah.
Did it?
I can say it now. Yeah. I didn't go win a Cespedes on it, but I played at least once or twice every road trip.
Well, as the legend goes, that's how batting gloves started. Was it Hawk Harrelson that went out and played? Wasn't expecting to play towards the end of his career. Went out and played or hit a bunch of golf balls and got blisters on his hands, and he ended up using a golf club in the baseball game.
There you go.
I don't know that that's completely true, but that's part of the legend.
You got pass list in town you didn't tell me about?
Why? Why are they? Why are they?
You said they were going to be.
Why are they wearing this?
Oh, we're moving off it, but
why are they wearing like referee
umpires? The ref umpires?
Umpire masks.
Ref umpires.
But referee
refumps.
So, okay, so that is an homage to Stephen Vogt, who was designated for assignment. It was not a popular move here with the folks.
Barely notice him.
It's a unique look. Here's Ryan Healy after Matt Olson took first base on the wall.
Tell you what, I'm gladly trading in the drum solos for the referee umpires.
Goodness, that guy has a job, has to work during the day. Benefit of a day game on this gorgeous afternoon here in Northern California. Astros playing the finale of a 4-game series and the first stop on this 7-game road trip. Just going to open a 3-game series tomorrow in Seattle. Safeco Field. Rifle to center field. There's Nick in and makes the catch. 2 outs for Chris Davis. Davis with a double in the 6th inning after striking out his first 2 at-bats. He's 1 for 3. James Hoyt and in relief for David Paulino at 5 1/3 innings. The Astros hold on and win here. That'll be their 10th straight win here in Oakland. It'll be the longest winning streak in a visiting ballpark since they won 11 straight. That was in Cincinnati around 2007. As Davis hits this one on the ground, Correa tosses over to Marwin, and that'll retire the side. We go to the 8th. It's 11-3 Astros. T-Mobile. Take a look at our pitching matchups for the upcoming series in Seattle. Joe Musgrove will go against King Felix in the opener of the 3-game series tomorrow night. Game you can see right here on Root Sports. Lance McCullers makes his return from the disabled list, followed by Brad Peacock going in the finale.
A couple guys coming off the DL. King Felix and then Lance McCullers on that Saturday. Rounding back into form. That'll be great for Astro fans to see. Charlie Morton throwing 45 pitches just down the road in Fresno.
We'll do that tonight. Jake Marisnick. This game started with George Springer being hit. Ball that bounced off his left shoulder and hit him on the left hand. He left the game immediately. X-rays were negative. That was the report we got. And Jake Marisnick came in and pinch ran. Second at bat, Jake Marisnick hit a 3-run home run. This is how the game started. Jesse Hahn, who had really struggled with his control. That's how the game. That was a 3-1 pitch too.
I'm just glad they turned down the volume because it sounded worse than it looked.
And I probably didn't help. I think I squealed.
There was a collective gasp.
Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Got him. The guy's behind the plate.
Ringing him up?
Yes, sir. The ump for Rees. Is it common knowledge how MC Hammer got his name?
Got his name? No. I bet you Julia doesn't know.
Julia, are you anywhere around?
I'm around.
Do you
I
know
how he got his name?
Do you know how MC Hammer got his name?
No, but I know the Too Legit to Quit dance.
I know you do.
Oh.
You got
it's
that
coming up this inning, isn't it?
You got that going for you.
It's coming up.
You want to know how he got his name?
Yes.
The players thought he looked like Hank Aaron. They called him Hammer.
Oh, I love it.
And that the story goes is that Charlie Finley, who owned the A's, there was all the strife going on in the clubhouse, and he wouldn't pay his players, and guys like Joe Rudy and Riley Fingers, and you know, every time they would come together and try to form a bit of a coup, well, the boss would call, and he knew everything that was going on. Come to find out, at least the thought is that there was an inside presence that was making the phone calls back to the owner.
You putting this on MC Hammer?
I didn't say that. You're
implying.
making things up.
You are. Crushing Julia's dreams about MC Hammer.
It was
that part I've actually heard.
Yeah,
that's in the documentary.
He was in the it was in the MLB documentary. There's some. I'll tell you, who can tell some great Charlie Finley stories is Phil Garner. He was here in those heydays, the back-to-back World Series champions. Reddick deep to right again, vying for his second home run of the game. Bounces off the top of the wall. Reddick will turn the corner at second and makes his way to third base, and he's in with a triple. Just miss his second home run of the game.
Think he'll get another AB.
He can get a single.
He's got all the 3/4 of the tough part of the cycle out of the way. But yeah, he was making a bid for that second home run. Matt Joyce playing that into a triple.
Carlos Correa at the plate with a man at third and one out. Breaking ball from Brady, drops in for a strike. And I think Josh Reddick would just as soon not get another at bat today. Get on the plane, head to Seattle, put this one in the books. It's 11-3 here in the 8th. But then again, ball skied to right. See what Reddick wants to do. He'll come home, throw to the plate, and he's safe. Third sacrifice fly of the game today for the Astros. Houston extends its lead to 12-3.
Two-point conversion is complete. Just missed it too. Seen Michael Brady get barreled up pretty good.
Yes, he has. They'll try to take strike one. That is the 4th run scored of the day for Josh Reddick. Walked and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the second, solo homer in the 6th. Now he triples and scores in the 8th. Carlos drove in. First run of the game for the Astros, the first of a dozen runs. One ball and 2 strikes. David Paulino started. James Hoyt came in relief. Michael Brady working for the A's. One foul back. Strike 3 call. At an outside corner, Beltran with some words, but we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Astros leading big. Sports is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Well, the Astros trying to take care of business here in Oakland, leading at 12-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Houston going for their first 4-game sweep on the road since 2013. Dion Diaz comes in to pitch for the Astros, making his 7th appearance.
Methodical right-hander out of the bullpen for the Houston Astros. Fastball, slider, occasional changeup.
Diaz pitched the 9th inning on Tuesday night in the Astros' 8-4 win. Immediately a leadoff double for Rajai Davis.
Join the Astros and go behind the scenes of Minute Maid Park. Through the Astros ballpark tours, fans can check out areas such as the broadcasting booth, press box, dugouts, scoreboard, and more. Visit astros.com/tours today. I've actually had fans tweet pictures sitting in my seat.
How about that?
Yeah. I better get better. Somebody's going to take my job.
12 runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Astros. 3 runs on 9 hits. Rajai Davis, second time in the last 3 innings, the A's have had a leadoff double to start an inning. Chad Pender, he doubled and drove in a run back in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 3. One ball and 1 strike. It'll be good to see Lance McCullers get back into that starting rotation, scheduled to make his return from the DL. That's coming up on Saturday night. All 3 of those games you could see right here on Root Sports.
First 2 will be Astros After Dark. Always exciting.
8:30 for the pregame, 9 o'clock, 9:10 first pitch. 2:30 on Sunday.
Oh, that's not going to be after dark.
Why?
Because it's earlier in the day.
The one on Sunday? Well, I was only half listening to you. The first 2 will be after dark. It's like the first 3 of this. So you never know what you might see on Astros After Dark.
Had a couple of good ones here. A lot of people staying tuned too. When we talked about these Astros, you don't want to turn the TV off. They're going to continue to do damage throughout the game, that's for sure.
Yeah, this one was not exactly very compelling because they were ahead 10-0 after an inning and a half.
Well, the first 3, the Astros pounded the A's into submission, and then scoring 10 runs in the first 2 innings pretty much put them out of it.
Yeah, not a good day for Jesse Hahn, who started today. Man right there is a single away from hitting for the cycle. Jesse Hahn started. He went 2 innings, gave up 9 earned runs on 6 hits. He hit a batter. Astros scored 2 runs in the first inning and didn't have a hit. Matter of fact, they only had 1 official at bat. 2 sacrifice flies. George Springer was hit by a pitch. Next 2 men walked. Marwin hit a 3-run home run in the 2nd inning. And Pender goes down swinging. Here's Jacob Brugman with 1 out in the 8th.
Might have been that split finger from Dion.
The Dion dive.
I like it.
Well, Brugman 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. So The Astros, after the Seattle series over the weekend, they'll have a day off on Monday, and then the Oakland A's will come to Minute Maid Park. A's have won just 9 road games this season. It'll be the A's and the Yankees on that next homestand.
The Astros have not even lost 9 on the road yet. Still sitting on 8 losses, looking like they're going to gain another win. Should make them 27-8 on the road.
Think about this. After that next homestand, after we get back home on Tuesday, Astros will have one more road trip and then the All-Star break. We'll head to Atlanta for 2 and Toronto for 3.
It's going to be an All-Star break for some of us, but there's hopefully a handful of Astros going on that trip to Miami.
Fouled back. Pretty good shot on Altuve. Correa. Springer in center field and out in the outfield.
McCann might sneak in there behind the plate.
Would love to see that. 7-time All-Star. Make it a snowman. You know, you'd be talking about Dallas Keuchel or Lance McCullers had they not had their stints on the disabled list. You know, a year like last year too, and seeing what Will Harris did and being able to get that opportunity, you know, in previous years before they had changed the system and the selection system, basically it was starting pitchers and closers, it seemed like. But you get a guy that, you know, some of those middle relievers some love. Will Harris certainly paid off for the American League last year.
Are you hinting at a possible Davinsky nod?
That was certainly, that's what I was thinking about.
Absolutely. Pitched extremely well, especially early on. A.J. Hinch was abusing that right arm, but with good reason. He was getting results.
Well, today, one of those days when A.J. is going to be able to rest that bullpen a little bit, get some guys some work that haven't worked a whole lot with this 12-3 lead. And speaking of leads, the lead in the division also affords you that luxury of giving some guys some rest, things like that. He's got options. And we've talked about it before. Problems he has are the every other manager in baseball would love to have those.
First place problems.
Yes. There's a walk. So Diaz coming in to throw strikes here in this 12-3 lead, but he's allowed a hit. Just made us, that time can't find the zone.
You'd like to see him bounce back because that's not a good way to endear yourself to your manager when you're trying to make an impression. Got a 9-run lead. Don't want to put guys on without letting them or making them hit their way on.
But nobody even moving around at all in the bullpen, so I think they would love to see him come out here and pitch these last 2 innings. That's wide, ball 1. Davis doubled. He's at second. That was to lead off this 8th inning. In there for a strike, 1-1. Pender struck out. Jacob Brugman is at first base with a walk. That'll make the seats. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Jose Altuve had a day off today. There's Lance McCullers, who gets the start on Saturday. Brad Peacock, who won the opener of this series. That one ripped down the line, and that's a fair ball. Maxwell drives in Davis, and they will hold Brugman at third base. Second double of the inning for the A's. An RBI double by Bruce Maxwell. His third hit of the day.
He's enjoying that call up.
Now they start to stir in the Astros bullpen. And Brent Strom with a visit to the mound.
It's not what the Astros wanted to have in that bullpen. They wanted to see Dion Diaz go out there, shut down this Oakland A's offense, but they're showing some late fight of their own. Not getting fooled by Dion.
I think that was a direct message. So Adam Rosales, number 9 hitter. He bats with runners at second and third and a 12-4 Astros lead. Rosales is 0 for 3. Now, the Astros had that 11-game winning streak. They had an 11-game road winning streak. They are 11-2 in their last 13 games away from home. The Grays fitting that man's team very, very well. 26-8 away from Minute Maid Park. Strike one. Two and one. Astros 7-1 against the A's this year. Swing and a miss. They'll have to come back here later. Was it in September that they'll have to make up a rainout? It happened back in April.
That was a torrential mist.
Torrential mist. It was a fog out.
Basically, marine layered out.
And that was that Sunday that we spoke of earlier in this series, but that was a Sunday in which the Giants played their game at PNC Park, which is about a 20-minute drive from here, right across the bay.
AT&T.
AT&T.
Yeah, you're still hung up on Pittsburgh being a beautiful ballpark.
What did I say? PNC?
Yeah.
Okay. At least I didn't say Pac Bell.
That's true. One of those networks.
Which would have been more correct than PNC. Over in San Francisco, they played that day.
What a difference a bay makes.
It is 12-4.
Crushed it.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Three balls and two strikes to Adam Rosales. There's 3-2. Ripped down the left field line, a fair ball. This will score 2. And Rosales into second base with the third double of the inning. And now they'll get up in the Astros bullpen.
Elevated heater. Not much guesswork for Adam Rosales sitting on that heater.
The last thing A.J. Hinch wanted to do was have to get Michael Feliz up, and that's what they're going to have to do. Michael Feliz starting to throw. Top of the order is Matt Joyce, 1 for 4. Get a double back in the 5th inning. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. It's a bad combination right now for that young man. Having a hard time finding the zone, and when he's in the zone, A's are getting good cuts. Astros had a 10-0 lead. Now the A's scratching and clawing, and it's 12-6. There's still 1 out here in the 8th. Davis led off with a double. Pinder struck out, then walked, double-double.
You going to in and out later?
That one popped up. They lost to the sun. That's not going to help matters. It's a long way to run, and Gaddis just lost it. He just lost the baseball in the sun.
Well, it's a long way to run, and like you said, there's no clouds in the sky. He's trying to fight the sun.
The reason I say, he says, my bad. You see him tap his chest.
Well, you give him a lot of credit. That's a tough play for a catcher.
It is.
You know what else too? We talked about the foul territory here in Oakland. As a defender, when you run for quite a ways, you expect to feel the stands, you expect to hit something, and it's just an awkward feeling when you go that far and not get near anything.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The reason I thought he lost it in the sun a little bit was the fact that it fell so to the ground so close to him, and he never really raised a glove or made a try at it. It's a long way to go for both Bregman and Evan Gaddis. Oh. The ball bounces out of play. Matt Joyce takes ball 4, and that'll do it for Diane Diaz on a 3-2 pitch. That ball bounced off of Gaddis's mask and hit in front of the plate, I believe. Bounced off his mask and then over the backstop. We'll take a break. Pitching change here in Oakland. 12-6 Astros. a lot more interesting here in this 8th inning, if you're an A's fan, that is. So Michael Phillies will come into work for Houston. With Diane Diaz to come in here and close this thing out, but that's not going to be the case, as Phillies has to come to work here in the 8th.
Well, and that's the interesting thing, is that Michael Phillies, with those good numbers that he has, is probably going to have to work into the 9th inning now.
30th appearance for Michael Phillies. Runners at first and third.
The pass list is still going strong. They're not going to give up. They're going to continue to watch the rest of this game.
Strong and enthusiasm. Catching high fives back there as well. It's 0-1.
Is that why the mask is on?
It is.
Hey, you don't want to get squared up on a high five.
Well, keeping a low profile back there as well. Probably all of them called in sick. They don't want their bosses to see who they are.
Good move.
Marisnick trying to chase that one down. It'll bounce off the wall. 1 run in, and they'll hold the runner at third. Another double. 4th double of the inning for the Oakland A's.
This is pretty amazing. Relentless attack. Usually we're seeing the Astros do some late inning damage. Now it's the Oakland A's turn to return the favor. Fastball down, but over the meat of the plate, gets driven the other way.
5 runs in the inning, and there's still just 1 out. Ryan Healy becomes the 8th Oakland A to step to the plate here in this 8th inning.
Dion Diaz is still responsible for Matt Joyce at third base.
Astro pitchers last night held the A's to just 3 hits. This is not a good offensive team. See the numbers 0 for 4 on Ryan Healy. Lowest batting average, lowest on base percentage in the American League. That's a good pitch. Strike, breaking ball, just caught the outside corner. On the right side, went foul. There's your pass list out there.
A couple of them are left. It's a no-shirt Thursday.
Some of your boys from Berkeley making their way over.
How much you bench, bro?
Each one of them had a different letter on their chest earlier. Spelled Blummer. That one gets away from Gaddis, and the 8th run will score. Now 12-8 here in the 8th inning.
Gaddis is getting beat up back there.
Throws across and another run scores. So now it is a 12-9 game as Olsen comes in on the RBI ground out by Ryan Healy.
Just turns it into a safe situation. Got Davinsky up in the bullpen now, and you know Ken Giles is going to be getting up.
A 6-run 8th for the Oakland A's.
It's been a tale of 2 ball games, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Just flip the script. The Astros early and the A's late. Well, Brent Strom with Davinsky having to get up and warm up. Comes out to talk it over with Mike Felice.
This is to give Davinsky a little bit of time to get loose. Maybe Devo might be that guy that gives Ken Giles a day off. May have to go a little bit of an extended outing here, but getting loose just in case he needs to come into this inning with 2 outs here in the 8th. And the possibility, if he's getting hot, he may end up being that closer this afternoon for the Houston Astros. Ken Giles with 2 saves in this series already.
So Mike Feliz will face Chris Davis. 9th A to bat in the inning. Strike 1. What was once an 11-1 game is now 12-9. Ball and a strike. See Ken Giles stretching. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Give me another one, Michael. Get the Astros out of this thing. Seen Chris Davis chase the fastball up. That was a good slider from Michael Feliz, and you got a pretty good idea of what Chris Davis was trying to do with that swing. There's that high fastball. Well, if you're Michael Feliz and Evan Gattis, you just got Chris Davis to chase that fastball up. Yes, he fouled it off, but at the same time, you change the eye level and the swing. Maybe go to that slider now to put him away.
And there it was. Good call. But the A's have an inning, 6 runs on 4 hits. And the Astros lead 12-9.
The 9th here in Oakland. Crush home runs and dominate your very own Derby competition in the official MLB.com Home Run Derby game on the App Store and Google Play. Swing for the fences against more than 10 million players from around the world as your favorite Derby all-star. Download Home Run Derby for free today. Kevin.
All right, Julia, this one got a lot more interesting, and it did it in a hurry. Well, not a good day today for Diane Diaz. In a third of an inning, he gives up 5 earned runs on just 3 hits. And he'll make way for John Axford, who comes in to pitch for the Oakland Athletics. 3rd time the Astros have seen him in this series. Gave up a home run in his first appearance here in the series. That was to George Springer. That one went to right center field. Faces Evan Gattis to lead off here in the top of the 9th. Gattis promptly sends that one to center field, and it was flagged down by Jacob Brugman. Hard hit ball, but Brugman is there, and there's 1 away in the 9th. Marwin Gonzalez, who hit his 13th home run of the season, bats with 1 out here in the 9th inning, a 3-run homer. Part of an 8-run second inning for the Astros. Now hitting .308 for the season. 1 for 4 today. Strike one. Represent. Astros 2 in the first and 8 in the second. You talk about flipping the script. There's Marwin, the base hit up the middle. Astros scored 10 runs combined in the first and second inning. And the A's scored 9 runs combined in the 5th, 6th, and 8th innings.
It's crazy.
Well, Marwin is aboard with 1 out for Yuli Gurriel.
21 runs and 24 hits in this game between both teams. It's like a Sunday afternoon in the Pac-12.
No balls and a strike to Yuli. Singleton scored in that second inning. He's 1 for 4. Watch out. Up off the tarp. 0-2. It'll be a safe situation here for whoever pitches the 9th inning, which is going to be Davinsky, it appears. He will face Rajay Davis, Chad Pinder, and Jacob Brugman in the 9th. Rajay Davis came in basically as a pinch hitter for Yonder Alonso in what looked like a game that was way out of control. Fake that he was going to go.
Axford doesn't look overly concerned with Marwin over there at first base.
Does not, does he? Right back through the middle. My goodness. I almost took Axford's hat off. Runners at first and second, and the Astros trying to answer back here in the 9th.
Trying to get Josh Reddick up there. Needs that single. That's coming right back at you. Return to sender.
In a hurry. Here's Bregman. 0 for 4 for Alex. No balls and 1 strike. Even the ball that Gaddis was really hit well to center field on a line. Brugman was able to make that play. Marwin with seeing eye single, and Yuli Gurriel a bullet right back through the middle. Runners at first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, so that bullet off the bat of Yuli Gurriel. Pitch came in at 94.4 miles an hour.
Going.
It picked up steam.
104.
104.9. Right back at the pitcher, John Axford. Yeah. Happens quick.
One ball and 2 strikes. Those at bats went in that last inning. Astros wouldn't hate to see another run on the board right here. Two balls and 2 strikes. 3-2. Nori, who's got a 3-hit game, waits on deck. Two outs. Three-hit day for Nori. Doubled in the second, singled in the third, and doubled in the fifth. Sends that one right at the second baseman Pender. He'll throw across. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. The Astros with a 3-run lead.
And it's Josh Reddick. It's going to be brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The ex-athletic, current Astro, obviously comfortable here no matter what they call it. This stadium here in Oakland, raking 3 for 4, home run, triple, double. He scored 4 runs, also has a walk. Just a single away from that cycle, but a very good day for Josh Reddick throughout the course of his afternoon, proving a vital force in that number 2 spot in the Astros order.
Chris Davinsky will have to come in and work here in this 9th inning. Big day for Josh Reddick. Davinsky coming on for the 29th time for the Houston Astros. This is ball 1 as he faces Rajay Davis to lead off here. A 4-3 record. Fouled right back over our heads. 1 ball and 1 strike for Devo. ERA 2.59. 58 punch-outs and 41 2/3.
COD.
Davis just got a piece of that one. A 6-run 8th inning for the Oakland Athletics has them right back in this ball game. Puts it into a save situation. Good pitch. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
Good breaking ball from Chris Davinsky. He usually uses that circle of death going after left-handed hitters. With the right-handers, he's developed a good breaking ball going away from right-handed hitters like you see there.
Foul back. Chad Pender bats with one out here in the 9th inning. Debo last worked on Monday night. That was third night of 3 straight appearances for Chris Davinsky. A scoreless inning. Got it right. Oh, and 2. Bender with a single and a double, at an RBI double in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 4. Got him swinging. There's 2 outs in the 9th.
Good pitch by Devo. Pretty good sequence too. Working ahead, being aggressive. When you have a couple of good off-speed pitches in your back pocket ready to use at any time, you can sneak that heater past him. Right here, not trying to fool anybody. Hit the target.
Jacob Brugman with 2 outs in the 9th takes ball 1. One and 1. One ball and 2 strikes. 82-mile-an-hour changeup. Just missed. 2 and 2. Count goes full.
Not missing by much, but a good job by Brugman laying off too.
Swing and a miss. Got him in the Astros. Complete the 4-game sweep, their first 4-game sweep on the road since 2013. They get their 10th straight win here in Oakland. And the former Oakland A, Josh Reddick, the big man offensively tonight for the Houston Astros. The Astros pick up win number 50, and it comes on June 22nd. 12-9 the final.